I just don't think it has anything to offer the country. Anything to offer you or me, anybody else. You know what I mean? If we do learn Irish, like, who do we speak it to?
I could speak Irish, maybe speak no English. And if I went to England, how am I going to get on just speaking Irish? I'd have to speak English. So the best is to speak English so I can go around the world, you know what I mean? Because Irish wouldn't get you anywhere.
You can't get anywhere with it apart from a government job. And the government that it helps you out, but apart from that it doesn't really do anything for you.
You don't think that we remain more Irish by having a language, do you?
Not necessarily. The Scottish aren't any less Scottish because they don't speak Scottish or the Welsh.
Number one, I don't feel any the lesser Irishman because I don't speak the language as such. And number two, I think that the English language is a very good means of communication.
Well, I'm inclined to think it's a waste of time in this day and age.
Why?
I think there's too much time spent in school on it when they could be doing more useful subjects.
Like what?
Well, I teach languages and I prefer languages, modern languages in this day and age.
Irish is as modern a language as any other language, would you agree?
Possibly in the Gaeltachts, but not in the rest of Ireland.
Why not?
Why isn't this interview held in Irish
Because
if it's that modern?
Because a lot of people can understand English better than they can understand Irish. But the point is that the language is dying, and this is what we're worried about. Does this bother you?
Not particularly, no.
If you go into a shop and you start speaking Irish, but people just laugh at you, they don't kind of appreciate you trying to do anything for the language.
So you wouldn't mind then if Irish died?
Well, no, personally, like, I can't see much use in it.
What good is it going to be to us when we go into common market?
Well, it's never been much good to me, you know. I've learned it at school. It was kind of drummed into me.
Well, I couldn't speak the Irish because the Irish I knew when I was going to school, that's not the Irish now.
Oh, I like it. I would love to be able to speak it.
You can't speak
No,
it?
I cannot.
So what do you think about all the people who can speak it and who don't speak it?
Well, I say they should speak it.
Me, for instance, I haven't spoken a word of Irish since I left school, you know, and I haven't done very bad without speaking it, you know.
If we go abroad, we want to be known as Irish, and speaking English straight away, would people say, oh, you're from England. But to explain that you're from Ireland is quite a different story altogether.
Specifically speaking, I like to be able to speak Irish because I'm an Irishman.
What happens if the language dies? Doesn't a great part of our culture go with it?
No, I think the culture is very superficial if it's depending on the language.
Ireland will become a sponge if it throws its language aside. If it throws the stamp of its own nationality aside, it will become a sponge and it will absorb both the bad and the good.
My experience, it's just like knocking your head against the wall to tell the Irish people how valuable it is to have their own language.
We all like to think we're in favour of Irish when the chips are done, but we're not prepared to do anything about it. There's a great deal of dishonesty in the national attitude in this. We're not prepared to take the necessary steps